Hi, y'all. Welcome to Talks with Maria. Just kidding. It's Maria Henderson, your online business strategist. Today, we are talking about day one of launching your podcast as promised. I've had a really busy morning. I've had client calls. I've had some family stuff. Now we are here to do our day one in launching a podcast, learning about podcasts, as I stated yesterday. So the point of me sharing this with you guys is because, there's a big group of people in here. However, not all of you guys have a podcast. Not all of you guys are really out there recording episodes consistently. And not all of you guys really know the value of podcasting. Instead, you guys might just be here to A, learn about podcasting, B, just network amongst female entrepreneurs, right? And C, just curious about what this group's about. So I turned off the screen on accident. I want to really have you guys get familiar with what is it about podcasting that everyone is doing and why are they doing it? Well, we're going to talk about that in day one in the training. So let's begin. So a little bit about me. I am a podcaster about 2 years now, 2 years into podcasting. I have 115 episodes. I am also an author. 114 episodes. My 115th is yet to be published, but it will be out this week. I'm an author of The Boss Mom Mentality. I also authored a podcast journal book, which if you're interested, I'll link it below. And I am the owner of Confident Business Women's Academy, which is a female entrepreneurship academy where I help online businesses thrive, right? So one of the legs that I use in my own business is podcasting. I use that as a way to showcase my expertise. I use that as a way to showcase my products and services and also get to know my audience. And one of the best things about podcasting is that you can really start anywhere you're at in life. You can start if you have no clue what you want to talk about forever. You can create a general podcast, maybe the Maria Show, right? Something like that, where you can talk and make the show go any direction you'd like. You can even have like a lifestyle podcast where you do weekly shows and talk about whatever's going on in your life, whatever trip's coming up, or non-trip since we're in COVID. And, really just talk about your life. So it's really like blogging, however, it's audio. Instead of writing up content and creating images, you are actually verbalizing your story. You're talking about it. So that is another reason as to why podcasting is so amazing. And it's because you're really learning how to become a storyteller, right? How to become a really great storyteller, really become influential with your words and your ability to captivate an audience. You can really learn and nurture that part of yourself, really grow that part of yourself through podcasting. And I believe that entrepreneurship is really just redefining yourself each time, each day, each new day. You're redefining and recreating yourself every time you put out some sort of content, every time you make connections with people. You're really redefining who you are. And podcasting was that for me. I was able to really get out of my shell, really own my story, share my story, and become confident in the person I've become along the way. And there was a time where I was so terrified of sharing my story because I was worried about what people would think. Oh, what if they hear this and they get offended? I wrote a book, guys. I wrote a book. And one of my lifetime best friends thought that I threw her under the bus because of this book I wrote. Okay? Mind you, this book that I wrote was a very healing part of me. I was really outward with my postpartum depression as a mom. And the point of is that it really created me to heal, and it also allowed me to feel a sense of accomplishment. Okay. And the point of that is that everyone's going to think something about you, whether you are not doing a podcast, whether you are writing a blog, whether you are showing up visibly on your Instagram, whether you have this or you don't have this, whether you do that or you don't do that. People are going to think stuff, right? And whatever motivates you to do anything, let it be you, right? Let it be you that motivates you to do this podcast. Let it be you in your heart and that knocking on your soul that you've always wanted to be passionate, really focus on whatever it is that you want to share with the world. And don't let anybody else outside of you tell you otherwise. Like, for example, my dear life best friend was so like, I can't believe you threw me under the bus, and I can't believe you wrote that book. And if I had really felt like my shit was malicious, then I'd feel bad about it. However, it wasn't even like that at all. It was just more like people are going to think whatever the fuck they want to think, and you have to do what you're going to want to do anyways, regardless of what people think. So podcasting for me really grew my confidence. It really allowed me to develop myself as a storyteller, and it also positioned me as an expert, right? One of the cool things about podcasting is that you can really talk about anything for any time frame, right? So let's say you are a part of CNN or whatever huge ABC network. What if they're requiring you to make 1 million views on your channel by 30 days? What kind of pressure does that feel like? Oh shit, I gotta come up with all this content. I gotta come up with every kind of audience. I have to target all these different audiences to hit my goal. And if I don't, I lose my job. Now, podcasting, you can do this as you go. You can do this whenever you really want, but the key to podcasting is to be consistent. But really the overall point here is that you have control over how often you record. And even if you have 1, 2, 3, 5 listens each episode, no one's going to shut off your channel. You keep recording, and eventually that will be something. Now, for me, what that something was really growing into a competent storyteller. And then it really allowed me to stand in my power in terms of showing up for female entrepreneurs. And never did I think that I was ever going to be some sort of mentor, coach, strategist. Guys, I wrote this author book. That's really what started. My whole thing was becoming an author and sharing my story that way. Then I became a podcaster, sharing my story that way. Then eventually I became a strategist for female entrepreneurs. But you see the progression here is that it always consistently progresses upwards if you are doing the right things and you are not focusing on what people think so much. So really, really amazing opportunity in podcasting. Some statistics from as of January. So in January of this year, I know that was January, but still, right? January of this year, there was a record of 500 million bloggers in the world. 500 million bloggers in the world. Okay, and in January, the record for podcasters is 500,000 podcasters in the world. What does that mean, guys? That means we are really in the early infancy stages of podcasting, which means you guys need to get on your episodes, really make it happen, really grow your show, and really allow for it to grow some roots into whatever niche or category your show is on, and allow it to create some sort of momentum towards whatever business in the end at the end of the rainbow is for you, whether that be a coaching business, whether that be a photography agency, whether that be a social media agency, whether that be the top ranking multi-level marketing person in your organization, whatever the heck it is for you. It is an ancillary support to that end result. And for me, I've really tapered off podcasting because of my coaching program. I think I publish at least once or twice a month now, but there was a time where I was recording shows every day. And the reason I was recording shows every day is because I literally was only podcasting and I was working on my book and I just love talking. So I wanted to, anytime I felt the spirit in me, I would literally press the record button, just throw up on my episodes, and in a good way. And one of the things about that is that I really found myself through podcasting, right? So day one, you learn the value of podcasting, how you can take your business to the next level through podcasting, and then also learned about the statistics of podcasting, right? Really cool, because in the world of creation, in the world of entrepreneurship, you want to be in a place where there's not a lot of competition, and you want to get into something where it's still in the infancy stage, where you can really maximize carving your real estate in that niche. And in this opportunity, it's podcasting. Okay, so tomorrow I am going live again, and we are going to talk about something juicy. All right, guys, so I am going to go ahead and put my Calendly link down. If you guys want to talk offline about how I can support you, definitely shoot me a message or book a strategy call with me. It is completely free. And thank you so much. Have an amazing day. Bye, guys.